Hello, welcome to my corner of the World Wide Web. My name is Fats, and more often than not, I'm here to talk about books, but I do know that I do show several clips of my journals just on my channel when I'm journaling, when I'm putting up book things, but I do get quite a few questions on just what's going on with them. The last time I did a journal video was 6 months ago, and I figured it's about time that I do another one. I do have quite a few updates, I do have quite a few things, and I don't really have any specific topics or questions. When anybody asks about my journals, it's more so like oh, that's cute, what's going on? And I figure I could just run through the system, run my mouth, and show you what's happening here. Because another thing is, hobonichi season is happened. I think hobonichi season is September. So I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll show you the setups I have. Give you a look into my brain, and we'll flip through all of the things. That way, when I show you these like small clips on my channel of these books, you have a better look into what I'm doing in my brain. Because when I'm talking books, we're talking books. But my journals do pop up so often, I figure, I don't know, why not? I'm currently lying on my floor, so sorry for if it's not like the most aesthetic of the journal videos. I'm moving. I have no furniture. So we're working with what we have. Let's get into it. The general setup, what you see here is I have my personal life, my brain, what inspires me. This is very personal to me. And then these are memory keeping, holding on to memories, holding on to snapshots of the day. So I view these books as moments of life that I want to be associated with a date. And then this is just things that I want to collect and keep forever. I figure we'll start with these two because this is the memory keeper, and I've actually got a change over here, and then we'll run into what's happening with this one next. So my hobonichis, the hobonichis. So this is a hobonichi weeks. I did use this from November of 2023 into June of this year. You can tell where I stopped because it gets less chunky, but I did have a lot of fun with this. But when I started this book specifically, I was not in a good place mentally. I wasn't having a good time in life. I was in the lowest of my personal lows. And I did want to have some type of routine with journaling, and I did want to collect pieces of life, but I didn't want to encourage the big bad thoughts. You'll see what I mean by that when I open this up. But if you've never seen a hobonichi, this is the hobonichi weeks. The very first couple of pages, you get the months laid out like this. And you can see that I tried a couple of different things with how I wanted this laid out. I did start off by doing some moon tracking, but I didn't quite like it in this setup. And then I just tracked working out, getting active, something that is very important in my life and I was missing and I wanted more of, and I wanted to track and improve and getting back into. And for me, that was getting back into the gym because it's something that I fell off of, but something that I do love. So I just kind of tracked that. Then once you get through those, you come into the months. Now, the way I treated the months was they are just a snapshot of what I'm going through, what's happening, maybe anything that I want to keep that doesn't require me to talk too much about it. There was no rhyme or reason to doing this. A lot of the times I opened up these pages when I was sitting at my desk and I wanted to just hang out in a book, and I would open this up. This is one of the first things that I would open. A lot of times it would go without being filled out, and then until I hit one of those days where I just wanted to play around on some paper, this was a creative outlet type of space. There's little pictures here. They don't mean anything except for they're just kind of a vibe mostly. After those pages, I promise I'm going to give you a flip through. I'm just giving you a rundown. After those pages, you get into the weeks. Now, this is what I mean by I was having the worst time in life, and I didn't want to encourage my brain to exist with those thoughts, if that makes any sense. So my memory keeping and how I summarized and interacted with my day, I did in these tiny little spots. And you could see that, like, this day, it says, I think I have an arch nemesis at work. She is here emailing me and including me and CCing all the managers for some simple questions. That's all I put for that day. That was the highlight of that day. That tells you everything that happened. I got a coffee maker that week. I include my media. I include what I'm reading because I just wanted to see what I was intaking or what was happening. You can see that I ordered some skincare, and I call this my trash collector because for some reason the trash throughout my week tells me everything that I need to know about what was going on and how my life was going. Let me flip through it. I'll start from the beginning and I'll give you a full flip of this memory keeper. Again, tracking. This month you can see that was not feeling great. I was trying to convince myself that things were okay. Life was on fire. It's so easy just to look at it and be like, oh, that's what was going on. That's what was happening. A lot of these photos and these sheets of paper, they come from just what I print off at the library. I wasn't much of a sticker person. I had these old stickers from Coffee Monster Co. I'll link everything and all the sources that I get things from in the description box below. But a lot of this is just me printing off at the library and cutting it out because a sheet of paper at the library with everything crammed on it for me to cut out is 10 cents. And I was unemployed for the beginning of this book. I did not have the finances for stickers and I didn't have the money for stickers. So I went to the library and put trash in my book because I find that a lot of the journal girls have the resources to journal and have the resources to buy all of these cute things. I did not. I had a pen, I had some colored pencils, and I had some trash. And I would go to the library and print off little sheets of paper with mood-like things. Now this one shows how I can collect memories with trash really easily because I ordered my traveler's journal from Baumkuchen, and this was just the wrapping from that order. And I can tell like, oh, I got my journal this month. They also gave me some free stickers, so I put those in there. It was my son's birthday. I was so tired for January and February, but wasn't feeling the best, wasn't having the best time. Understandable. I ordered some underwear. Well, here's the thing. Now I know this month, again, looking at it, it's like, what is going on? I bought some Birkenstocks. I ordered some underwear. They're really soft, by the way, if you ever want to order underwear from them. And I got my wisdom teeth removed this month. I do some doodling here and there. Oh, look, I also bought some melatonin that month. I was not, but I'm feeling good. I'm like exhausted. Bought some melatonin and suddenly I'm feeling great. Like it doesn't tell you anything other than giving you the just most basic snapshots, but I think it's so hilarious to see what I want to put into these pages. LOL. Not me putting my business out there, you guys. LOL. Practice safe sex, people. Practice it. Pull out method is dumb. It's dumb. And if you're doing that, but it's stuff like that. I can look back and be like, LOL, I was being a dummy dumb back in those days. And I bought some clothes. It's so much fun to look back on these. I bought some traveler's journal inserts. And what else happened this month? Oh, more doodling from me. And this was when still sleep deprived, still having a bad time. This one looks very doodle heavy, so obviously I didn't have much to say. You can tell when I get doodle heavy, I'm not doing the best. I got some pizza this month. And then I just kind of threw some trash. This one's just trash heavy, not much doodling, not many words. And I must have ordered, I ordered this that month. So that's just the months at a glance. I put the horoscope in this month just because I'm fighting for my life, obviously. What fine weather today. Can't choose whether to drink tea or, wow. Honestly, my book is 45% Tumblr quotes. This is not a cry for help, I promise. I just thought it was funny. That ended that. I did plan to use this the entire month. I did want to see it bulk up like crazy, but I did go into this one. So those are all the months that I have. Now, going through the weeks, if there's any personal information, I'm just going to cut that page out and go on to the next page. But I'm gonna flip through these ones a little bit faster because I think when it comes to these weekly pages, it's just fun to see how I curate a page, how I just throw trash into a page. What you will see at all times is what I'm reading, what I'm watching, and pictures that I printed off at the library that I feel encompass the mood that week. This is trash from my favorite place in the neighborhood that sells the best conchas. I had the worst Indian food this week. I also had some pretty good reads. I got a tattoo this week, and one thing that's always interesting is if you ask people for trash, they are not gonna say no to you. So I had asked the guy if I could have a stencil of the tattoo that I got, and he let me keep that stencil. I went thrifting that week. Buffalo Exchange is fake thrifting, but I really needed a t-shirt and I knew it was next to Trader Joe's. Don't judge me. You can also tell that I was doing nothing but reading and I felt like a happy little frog that week, which kind of a good vibe. Now this is what I mean by trash, and for some reason how trash is just so much fun. I had one of the best chocolate bars ever from Trader Joe's. Is that some big memory? Is it some big moment? No. But I feel like when it comes to journaling, it doesn't have to be some big, huge, memorable thing that you keep. I like to keep my books, I like to keep my media, and I like to know when I eat a snack that I really enjoy. That's that. It doesn't have to be anything heavier than that. This is because I sent a friend a package. I do treat all of my friends as pen pals. I love sending people mail, and I was getting back into that after what has been like a very long month. Business cards are always fantastic to keep. When I go anywhere and I get a service, I take a business card because I don't know, they look good. They're always fun to throw in. Whenever I am having a week where I don't want to write about it that much, again, because this was a time in my life where I wasn't doing the best, I make the pictures bigger, I throw more in. This was one of my most watched YouTube videos at the time, which of course I'm gonna keep that. I thought that was fun. I did attempt to switch things up often. You can see that I did try to change things up, but when I hate it, just cover it up with a picture, cover it up with something that feels like, just like a vibe. I went to a museum this week, right? And rather than even attempting to voice what it was about or even forget what the experience was like or the art that I had seen, I got a pamphlet and I cut out my favorite exhibit and all the information on the author and the artist, and now I get to keep that forever. And if I ever flip back and I'm like, oh, I do remember how amazing this artist was, I've kept it. I can look her up again. I can look up if there's ever an exhibit by her again. And all because I kept some trash and I collect all the things that I could possibly look forward to. And it doesn't even have to be anything important. I had gotten my hobonichi order this week. I needed something for my work planner, so that's what that is. And it doesn't have to be anything deeper than that. Oh, look, there's that melatonin day that we saw earlier. I ordered the Birkenstocks that week, and I kept everything that they gave me. This is such a mood. I think I printed that off like 4 different times. I just kind of like the feel of, I don't know how to explain it, but things like this, I just like the feel of them. I put it in with some washi tape so that I can always play with it. This came from packaging from some mail that I had ordered off of Etsy. I read an excessive amount of books this week. Oh, and I started going to the gym. These were given to me at the tattoo place. Usually if you go somewhere and they have stickers up at the front, I'm gonna ask about the stickers. I got my car this week. I put in my DNFs in here as well. If I don't finish a book, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool to see what I do and do not finish. This is trash. I got it from packaging. Oh, look, I hit 450 subscribers that day. That's cute. It's so cute to look back on, like, oh, look, fighting for my life this week. And I signed on my apartment. Another business card. Trash. More trash. Oh, me and my friends went to an arcade, so of course I'm gonna keep the bracelet. I made them keep their bracelets too because I'm a sentimental bee. And that's the end of that. Now, you remember how I told you the reason I got this one was because I didn't want to think too heavily on the bad days, the bad thoughts. Well, when life started getting brighter, it was unfortunate that I couldn't write more about it. So while this was great for me when I wasn't in the best place, and I would prefer to put trash in than to sit with my thoughts, how I was interacting with my memories and how I was interacting with my days, I wanted to write more about them. And this actually hindered the good thoughts. In comes the hobonichi avec. So I have just started this one, and it is a new journaling experience for me because I didn't have a problem with this. This worked out so well for me. I enjoyed how easy it was to backfill. I really enjoyed this. I like the feel of it. You can tell, like, it's just a good size. Now, with this one, I'm new to it. I'm very new to it, so I'll most likely switch some things up as I go. I like the feel, I like the size, and I'm excited to also chunk this one up. I think it'll be cute, chubby. So this is the avec, which means you only get the beginning. It comes in 2 pieces. So you get January through June, and I only purchased the July through September just to see how I felt about it before I committed to an entire year of one. Now, here I track the habits that make sure my mental health is doing what it needs to do. And then I track my mood. And the habits that make sure I'm thriving are just to sleep, do something active, and to be creative. Those are the only 3 habits that I know help me, I don't know, thrive and survive. You see, I was really exhausted. Oh, this was, I don't know why I wasn't having a good time, but you could see it in my memory keeper, like I wasn't doing the best. This was backlogging. Then my months switch up because I wanted to get like a different type of feel in my months. So I put the horoscope down. Do I necessarily believe in horoscopes? Who cares? I just kind of like that it like pushes me to do something. This one was talking about how I should explore more. I should make sure to cultivate peace. I need to ground myself. Something about horoscopes act as this like nice reminder. Then throughout the month, I just kind of put little bits and bobs, like Bridgerton came out. I put the videos that I'm doing. I hit 500 subscribers. I got my hobonichi avec. It was 98 effing degrees this day. I started watching a TV show with a friend. A month countdown for me to move. It's nothing more than, like I said, little snapshots of life. Same for this. I got some stickers. I was so sad that I was too broke to ever sticker, so I treated myself to some stickers. Sorry, I had to pause because my neighbors are actually shouting right now. So, I haven't been in this one long, so these are the only 2 months that I do have. This one was backfilled, just so I could give it a shot, see how I liked the feel of it, see what I wanted to do with it. And then this one is actually this month, so I'm still in the process of filling it out. It isn't something that I do beforehand. It's something that I do, like I said, just kind of when I want to mess with something. Now, when I get to the actual days, it's all about being a bit more creative and taking more time with my days, which is the goal that I want now that I'm feeling better. Now that I actually want to talk about my days, I put it in there. So I do put the dates down, I put the weather down, I put what day of the week it is, and then I just get out what I want to get out. I also got these really cute book review stickers because I want to have a better intentionality with how I write about my books. Sorry, I'm going to flip away from this one so I don't have to awkwardly cover that page anymore. But I also want to doodle more. I want to be more creative in this book and allow myself to explore more, do some bad art, make some ugly things. Like I went to Sephora, I tried some perfume, I bought some body cleansers, I ordered some new shoes this week. So I'm not getting away from the fact that I like collecting trash. It's just, it now presents itself a little bit differently. This is the perfume that I was checking out. I got one of those sample cards. So now my book smells like this perfume, which is so fun. I also, this is what I got. They're the Satelier review tabs. I think it's like $5. You get 50 in here. I think it's cute just for the tactility of, I don't know, a flippy thing. Got some Sephora trash. I read a lot that week. It's just, I don't know. Something about it is how I spend my time and how I think about it is a little bit different. And if I want to rant, my rants aren't harmful for me to sit with. My rants are like, this person, blah, blah, blah. It isn't me downing myself or me speaking poorly on myself. My rants now feel like something I want to keep, because now I can look back and be like, oh yeah, that's when my friend annoyed the life out of me, or oh yeah, I had to throw away all of my groceries this week and I was frustrated by that. I put a little checklist because I didn't feel like, right, I wanted to rant, but I still wanted to keep track of what happened in the day, so I did that. And then, like I said, I'm still keeping trash. Oh, this is somebody told me about a really cool tattoo shop that I need to go to, and they wrote it down for me. Somebody told me about a coffee shop that I need to try out, and they wrote that down for me. So nothing's changed. I'm gonna put a picture here. I took a photo, and I'm gonna put that in that spot, but I wrote down what I was gonna put there so I would remember. And that's all that I have so far. But I think it'll be cute. I do see myself switching things up. I like that it gives me the opportunity to do more on each page. But those are the memory keepers. That's how, I don't know, it's kind of how this is very much a traditional journal, I think. Okay, so the next book that you see on this channel the most is this guy. This is my brain on paper. This is the book I open up every day, all the time, multiple times a day. When it comes to my memory keepers, I'm only opening these up at the end of the day. This book gets opened up constantly. Sometimes I open it up just to open it up and see what needs to be done, because this is everything that I need it to be. Now, on the front of the book, I have like scratch paper. I love the field notes books. I don't know what it is, the size, the feel, the paper. This is genuinely just a scratch notes type of thing. This is me keeping track of everything that I need to get done, but I needed to map it out in my brain. That's what I did here. I wanted to, I'm thinking about journals. It's just kind of like, I don't know, scratch paper, nothing like important. Just if I need to rough draft something before it goes anywhere else, it's gonna go in here first. Then I go into this. I can't remember where I got this case from. You can see like it's got water damage, it's scratched up, and I think that's what I love about it because it's still a little stiff, but you can see that some love is coming into this, and I can't wait until it really softens and it gets really flexible. But I love that I have something that its intention is getting a little bit beat up. Sorry, my neighbors are being so loud. But I have a little pocket. It holds on to some information. This right here are the measurements and gauges of some of my piercings that I always forget. I put it in here. I had somebody write it on the back of a sticker. Somewhere I know I won't lose it. Then we get into the books themselves. This first book is my planner. I treat it more as a bullet journal. And then this book, everything in here is held in by an elastic. This book is my, I think people would refer to it as a commonplace. I'm not commonplacing properly. This is every single thought that happens in my head goes in here. And then I have a little sketchbook because I want to get back into a regular habit of sketching. So, flipping through them, we can start with this planner. I set this up myself. There are only a few pages in it. It's something that I like the bullet journal setup of things because if I ever want to change it year by year, I want to change something in the week, I can always change things to how I need them to be. This begins like a future log. It's brand new. I just started it in July, so you can tell I haven't done much with it. At the time that I'm filming this, it's still July. I have an adulting log, which keeps track of all the adulting things that I would like to get done. This is reminding me when I need to get my tires rotated. It's telling me, did I clean my garbage disposal this month? Did I switch out my toothbrush head this month? Have I deep cleaned the ice machine of my fridge? It just keeps track of all of those things. I highlight the things that need to be done monthly. I highlight the things that just need to be done at some point. And that's just kind of how I keep track that these things are happening. Things that I would like to look back and be like, when did I do that thing? That's here. That's my adulting log. Then I have spaces in case I want to like try to map out my finances. And I have a little space in case I have any goals that I would like to think about for this quarter. My month is, again, very scratch paper-y, just to see that I get things done. Try to keep on top of things. Try to keep just my life organized. That's what this is. It doesn't need to look good. I am so tired of all the pretty journals. Mine doesn't need to look good. I'm keeping a checklist. I'm keeping all of my goals in a certain spot. And then I Alistair method and mood track and Boss Bee habit track in my weekly setup. That is what this is. You can look up Alistair method anywhere, but for me, it's helpful because I can see when I'm getting things done. I can mark if I've partially gotten things done, and then at the end of the week, I go on this side and just kind of mark what hasn't happened, has happened, has only been partially happened, maybe didn't happen, and I can take this information and transfer it on to the next week, if that makes any sense. I did draw out quite a few of those just so that when I get to it, I can just fill it out as I get there. That's really all that's in here. I have all of my weeks and I have all of my months. I put in some goals. That's my bullet journal. It keeps my life just static. It keeps me on track. I only put personal life planning in here. My work planner is a completely separate thing. I will not show that on camera due to personal information, but this is very much only personal life planning. I then have a little folder. It holds onto my dots, a little pencil board, and then there's the back side of that folder thing. Now, the book that I'm sure holds the most interest on this channel, my brain. Now, there's no rhyme or reason to this book. I do have a dot system, and you can see that dot system will change later. At this point in time, I had copy text, me commenting on things. And when I say commenting on things, I mean I didn't copy it out, but I do have a thought about an outside thing. Like if somebody said something and I want to rant about what somebody said, or I heard a quote, it's specifically me doing commentary on an object or a statement or a video, but I don't necessarily want to quote that specific video. Yellow, just my brain doing brain things all the time. Green is my brain doing brain things about things that I talk about a lot. Journals, perfume, fashion. If it's something that if it's something that I'm going to talk about more than once, it's going to get that light green. This is anything related to social media. And then blue was just me being creative, doing some creative writing poetry, anything to do with that. When it comes to sticking in photos, I really just stick in photos that I think are cool. They don't have anything to do with what's being written next to them. They're really just things that I saw on Pinterest, saw on Tumblr, and I wanted to keep. I do a little bit of doodling in here occasionally, not too often. I play with my pencils in here. It's really just, I don't know, whatever, just anything. There's no rules to this. Nothing's more important or less important. Again, it's one of those things, like I said with here, if I want to keep it, I can keep it. It doesn't have to be some big deal. I saw this poem. I was in a little bit of an Emily Dickinson phase. I wanted these shoes, and I kind of wanted something in this color. I still haven't bought them, but now I remember that I do want these in this color scheme. Put things in however I want to. There's no rules to it. I like how tactile it can be. Then you can see I wanted to write about books I didn't finish. That was this day. I just really wanted to talk about books that I just could not get through. So I put a commentary sticker. And this is going to lead eventually to me writing about books in here regularly. You'll see that later. More photos. I think black women in gold is such a vibe. So I was into like jewelry. How do you curate jewelry? The history behind that. This is me literally ranting about how I think I might want to move to Austin. I keep Tumblr posts. This is art, and then I referenced that art so I wouldn't forget the artist. And then this is my first book review in here. This is How You Lose the Time War, and I just needed to talk about it. I wanted to keep quotes from it. So this is really when I started putting books in this everything book, because at first I had a book journal. It got rained on, and I didn't know what to do from there. I didn't know if I would start a new book journal, but it felt cool to have my thoughts, my brain, my wishes, my wants, my doodles, my art, and my books in there, because it shows the progression of my thoughts and where my mind is at. And now you can see I started keeping books in here. This is trash. It's just trash. Nothing to do with anything. And I kind of love that. Like, I'm watching Bridgerton. I've DNF'd Yellowface. Oh, I want grills. I'm reading Salem's Lot. I'm planning my booktube. I read Fever Dream by Samantha Schweblin. This is just art that I love. This is before I got my piercing, but I wanted it for a long time. A trash book. Trash. From the place that I want to get the perfume from. It's just art. I think having the books in here intermixed with my thoughts is just so much fun. I don't know what it is, but like I said, something about it feels like such an accurate snapshot of where my mind is at, what I'm going through, what I'm thinking about. And there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. It's truly just
my life, my brain, my snapshot. Because don't they say you're affected so much by the media you intake really affects how your mind works and how life, I don't know, is shaped by you? Oh, I was going through like a folklore research phase, so you can see that pop up. This one was interesting because I was reading Game of Thrones and I just needed a character map. So I hunted for some character maps so I could keep people straight. I come back to this page often whenever I'm in the Game of Thrones world. One thing that's also really cool is if you go to Tumblr or Pinterest, there's always fan art of books, and I thought that really brought out some of my book reviews or some of my thoughts and rants. I hadn't talked about what I was watching on Netflix for a minute, and I was intaking quite a bit at this time. So I made a page just to catch myself back up on the media that I was intaking and how I was feeling about it. Then my dot system changed. You can see I was kind of iffy on it, and I'm still not quite feeling it. The issue is all the books that I am now intaking. I was using up the book dot and the media dot like crazy, and I just couldn't figure out what to do about that. You'll see that change again later. This is me looking at apartments and then planning what I want that apartment to look like, which is actually crazy. I didn't even choose this. I'm not even moving there. I just desperately wanted to plan and look at how I would set up an apartment setup. This is before I got my hobonichi avec, and I watched some videos and I took some screenshots so I could think about if it's something that I wanted. This is me. I got a different apartment, and this is the layout of the apartment that I signed on to. And I put a little mood board of how I maybe want it to look, the kind of vibe and style that I'm going for. And then the book that I finished and all the quotes that I needed to keep from it. Did some YouTube planning. This came in a package. I haven't finished this yet. I got halfway through it and I left a spot for it. So I'll go back and fill that out maybe one day. I didn't have the cover printed off for this one, so I just kind of ended up not having it. You see this mood picture a lot. I told you I printed off a lot of them. It fits. It fits. And then I started Summerween, so I kind of put in a few Summerween books together. Oh, Bridgerton. I got a lot to say. I love this couple. I love them. I couldn't care less about Pollen, though. I said it. These are the running shoes that I maybe want to get myself, and I'm like literally listing off the pros and cons or if I like them. I feel like rocks would get stuck in the bottom though, so that's kind of what I'm talking about there. This is the day that I got that planner, so then I put in a little bit more inspo from other people. I try to play with layouts on this. I just wanted it to look different. And then this is when I was like, I kind of want to keep all of my Summerween reviews together. I don't know why. No reason. Just wanted to keep them all in one space. So when I finish them, I go to these pages and I'll fill it out. And that's the end of that. Those are all my journals. That's my little brain. There's just a sketchbook in the back. Nothing's really happening in there. It's just when I really want to doodle or I'm out and about and I want to put something down. That's all that happens in there. Otherwise, that's everything. That's all of my stuff and all of my things. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I can try to answer them and I can try to work through them. I love to hear about your journal systems and I love to hear about journaling. So if you have a cool system, please tell me. Hobonichi season is coming and I'm stuck on if I am fully loving this or if I do want to give a book journal a chance. I'm stuck on if this is the memory keeping system that I want to go into next year. And then I just love the size and feel of the weeks in my hand. So I desperately want a reason to have a hobonichi weeks. And I'm over here just trying to force a reason for it. And I haven't figured it out yet. I might get it as a planner, but because I kind of hate drawing out the months in my bullet journal. So I might get this as my kind of life planner. Not sure what I'm gonna do next year, but I feel really happy with this right now. This is new to me. I am getting into what like a commonplace means to me, but I'm having a good time. I enjoy it. I enjoy collecting my thoughts, and I think it's so fun to be able to flip back and be like, oh yeah, I found a pho recipe that day, or why was I so obsessed with these things on this time? And oh my goodness, I can't believe I read one of the best books of the year and then immediately went into Gothicana. Oh, I also copied out this really cool Tumblr post. Like, it's great. I love the feel of it. I have nothing else to say. I hope you liked this break from the book vlogs. I hope all of my journal girlies, I hope I rambled in a way that was cohesive and easy to understand, because I know that if you're a journal girly and you see a glimpse of a journal, you're so curious about what's going on. I know I am. If I see somebody's a journaler, I'm like, what is happening? How do you collect your thoughts? How does your brain work? And this is just kind of how mine works. And my brain is just a big trash collector. That's how I am. I do want to get more into including more photos as I go on through here. I don't know what I'm doing with this one. I am reaching the end of it. I'll probably be done with this before August. So this may switch up because, as you can see, I was a little iffy on how I feel about the dots. I think a journal is something that should evolve and it should change. So I'm never too serious with how I want it to look. If my brain changes, if I change, it should look different. I get these inserts from Goodinkpressions. I'll put it in the bottom. I'll put all the links everywhere where I buy all the things. And I will see you next week for us to get right back into the book vlogs and Summerween and all of the reading things that I'm doing right now. Talk to you soon.